It's my favorite evening. I'm pacing around the floor. Got southern woods and waters gonna take me out the door. Got coffee on a firkin. I'm about to have some fun. They'll have my mind chasing some critter on the run. Bring it on, southern woods and waters. Make me hear that sound of a fish that's breaking water or the bawling of some hounds. Make me smell that river mud, feel clean air on my face. Bring it on, southern woods and waters, show me that special place.
Probably about 11-inch crappie.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of Southern Woods and Waters. We hope you're all at home nice and safe with your family enjoying tonight's show. We've got something really unique for you tonight, something that we have never done here on the show before. We've gone out and filmed a pheasant hunt, so we're going to take you along with us as we were in Westmoreland, Tennessee, pheasant hunting at Meadowbrook Farms there. Had a great time hunting with guide Jimmy White. And tonight on the show with me, I'm joined by a couple of guys that you'll recognize. I've got Josh Lovell here with me tonight. We're going to be talking a little bit more about the Tennessee Boat and Fishing Expo coming up. Josh has got all the information for that. And we brought the man down here with the plan, Mr. Bobby Gentry. He's going to be talking a little bit about his new book tonight that was just brought out on, it's been on Amazon digitally for just a little while, but now it's hardback.
We've had it, and just now getting the printers, and we got our first hard copies in, so they're moving real good.
Yeah.
Good opportunity to get your book now.
Yeah, I'm excited to dive into that one. I know there's a lot of information, not just smallmouth fishing, but in more specifically Dale Hollow smallmouth fishing. Is that correct?
It's a reference book, basically. It covers a variety of the species and a little bit of what somebody that's never been there, it'll cover that for them.
What they need to be looking for and this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. Looking forward to talking some more about that as we get through the night. But let's go on over right now and get into the field and go to segment 1 of our pheasant hunt at Meadowbrook Farms.
What we try to do, we don't know where that old bird's gonna fly. Okay, so we put them in a straight line. One on one side, 2 on the straight line. So if that bird goes right or left, if he's safe to shoot it, and then he comes back over your head, you will, but you will have to watch not shoot the cameraman. I got this little English cockers. They do this flushing and retrieving, and so just be careful and watch them, make sure the bill's ahead. That first shot, you try to shoot the head off a good safe shot where you don't tear the meat up. Second shot, shoot anything you can hit. Use the third shot, a long walk after. If so, them long walks, your shooting will improve.
I don't shoot a fish.
Your crew's coming. You're Daisy. Okay, don't get in too big a hurry. Come on, buddy. Come on, attaboy. Okay. They're English cockers. They come from England. I think their grandparents is from England. They just bred to flush and retrieve, all they're bred for.
When the gunplay ended, old Blackie took his swim. I swear that dog was grinning. Fish up to my hand.
That's it, dude. Up! That's it, that's good.
Hey!
Well, you finally got one. That's good. John Lice, somebody to tell you how long ago it was. He just bred a regular film. We had a young dog, he'd jump in and flush them. I went down there to the station, cut that out. I knew when he was fixing to jump. I cut that out and pieced it back together, taped it, scotch tape, put it back together. And that, people call want to buy that dog. That's why he's not even broke.
He'll make it look like play. He won't worry about no weather. He'll go hunting any day. He won't worry about no grooming, sitting in a blind full of mud and leaves. He'll have brush to hide his head while he waits for his next retrieve. When Blackie goes to working, he makes it look like play. He don't worry about no weather, he'll go hunting any day. He don't worry about no grooming, sitting in a blind full of mud and leaves. He likes a little brush to hide his head while he waits for his next retrieve.
him, Duke. Hush him, Duke. Hush him, Duke. Hush him, Duke. Up. Hush him, Duke. There you go, now kill him. Come here, Duke. Come here, John. Come here, Duke. Oh, shoot. I get somebody running in there. Might come back home. Alright, you ready? Put the dust not down. Bless you, Duke. There you go, shoot his head off. That's what it is. Good job. Good man. Y'all have any problem walking or need that camera walking? We got an extra four-wheeler we can get the ride in. Come here, John! Get in here, dude. Get up.
I can't say who's intentional, but I did.
Bless you, Duke. Bless you, buddy. You're running long enough. There you go, now kill it. That's the way to knock him down. Good deal. Nice shot, Brandon. Thank you.
Pretty bird right here. It's a chucker. It's the first one I've ever seen held in my hands. The first one I've ever seen.
Looks like it's
Pretty bird. I bet they eat good too.
we can do
Over 30 years ago, the Commissioner of Highways in Frankfurt called me and said, Jimmy, I understand you hunt quite a bit. And I said, yes, sir. And he said, would you do me a favor? And I said, what is it? He said, the mayor of St. Matthews in Louisville got beetlines and he really loves to rabbit hunt, but he ain't got no place to go. Could you find him a place? I said, well, wait a minute, I'll call and get back. So I called Mr. Denning and I said, Mr. Denning, the Commissioner of Highways wanted me to see if we could hunt a friend of his, bring group day hunting. So we left right over there, never got out of the side of the house, up there to the dam on that pond, and they had miniature beetles. They'd run them in the groundhog hole, they'd run out the other end. They killed 26 rabbits that morning with them beetles. And I want to get me one of them beetles, never did though. I just loved it.
I got a buddy.
Bless him, Daddy. Bless him, Daddy. Get in there, Daddy. Bless him, Daddy. Bless him, Daddy. There you go. Now get up.
Wee!
All right, now you're getting it down fast, Daddy.
That one's about 8 ounces heavier than he was a while ago, boys.
I probably should have just stood back and let Daryl shoot that.
Pretty bird.
Come on, Daddy.
Come on. Come
on, Daddy.
Pretty bird.
You got to show Richard that.
Yeah, good girl. Good girl.
Hold on, y'all. Come on, Daddy. We got one. Let's go around.
Let's go.
Come on, Daddy. What are you hopping around?
I didn't ever realize they had that much color in their back.
You've still got one pretty on that.
Now, about how old is a bird like this?
They probably May birds.
Okay. We're out here today in Westmoreland, Tennessee, doing something I've never done before. We're out hunting pheasant and chucker. And guys, we've had a pretty good morning of it so far, haven't we?
We've started good, yeah.
I've never, this is the first time I've ever seen either one of these birds, in the wild, and was honestly unsure of what a chucker even looked like until we shot one and I got to see it. But I'm looking forward to now seeing how they taste, what kind of table fare they are. I know that much. So we're gonna get back out there and get after a couple more and see how we can finish the day up doing that. All right, welcome back to the studio. And guys, have y'all ever pheasant hunted? You guys ever done that?
Never have.
I never have. It was a big time. What was neat for me and for the other guys as well is the first pheasant I ever saw was then, when I was hunting them that day in chucker. I wasn't really sure what they were, and it turns out they're not indigenous to the United States anyway, but they're all in the Colorado Rockies, and they thrive there, and that's where they are typically hunted at. But lots of fun, and Mr. Jimmy White was a great guide. He's been guiding there for 43 years, so he definitely knew what he was doing. We had a great time, but we're going to go over in the next segment and finish that hunt up. For right now, let's go on over and do this week's wild game forecast. It's being sponsored by Wilson Bank and Trust. They've been serving the Middle Tennessee community now for over 30 years. You can stop in and see them at 28 locations. Be sure to tell them thank you for everything that they do for us right here at the show. All right, well, Bobby, there's a cold front coming in, pushing in on us pretty good. Might get a little snow tonight. It's going to be cold this weekend. What do you think the fish are going to be? What are the smallmouth going to be doing right now?
Well, what we've found, it's been fairly consistent, Brandon. Of course, we've got 2 or 3 methods we use in the winter. We use the float and fly method, which is an older method that we've been using for years on Dale. We found that swimming, doing tight line, swimming small minnow baits, the reason that's been effective, when they're not hitting your jigs, like we normally fish a typical jig, when they're sitting on the bottom, you can do pretty well. But a lot of times I've been finding on my trips that them fish have been sitting 5, 6 to 8 feet above the bottom. They're real lethargic. We're running 42, 43 degree water temps. Your live bait guys can get into them. Yeah. But doing kind of what I do with a lot of my tournament anglers, we're taking tight lining, we're using braid, doing like a uni knot or a type of knot, tying your leader on, and we're getting that bait and starting a cadence. Yank them with Wally and them with the Yank Custom Tackles, got some heads, and Chris Snow's got some heads that we use, and we're trailing that up with a little gulp minnow, and all it looks like is either a dying shad. The method that's been really good for us is just a solid cadence, just like you'd fish a top
slower this time of year.
Slow. Yeah. And the neat thing about that, what's been effective is if you get lucky enough in a day's trip to get that cadence right and get that bait at the depth that they're holding, and that's where your electronics comes in.
Yeah, it does.
It does big time, don't it? If you can get that cadence down and find them fish, you're going to catch several really nice smallmouth. They're going to be a little bigger than an average. They're going to be in that 3 to 4 to 5 pound class. Yeah. And of course, when you're catching smallmouth, the 4-pound smallmouth fights like a 10-pound largemouth. It feels like a 10-pound fish. It does. It's fun. It's a fun method. Yeah, it is. It's really fun to do. And of course, our aspirin head jigs and all of them are still working. Everything you're normally doing, the Ned rigs are working. It's a matter of trying to locate your bait. That's been one of the hardest things that we've done, is find these shad, when it gets cold. Yeah. But if you find a school of shad, and I tell everybody on Dale, trust me, seagulls, they're seagulls want to be, but when you find birds, it's okay. But if you find the loons, the loons is a sure indicator that you've got bait in that bay. Yeah. That's where you start using your electronics and find picking your spots to fish. Yeah. Well, that's a lot of help right there. Guys, we want to remind you to follow us on Facebook and keep up with us there. We're going to be giving you updates throughout this weekend as we're at the show. So be sure to watch us. We've got some more giveaways, and we've got a few more sets of tickets that we're going to be giving away on Facebook as well. And we've got some we're going to give away tonight. So be sure to watch for that. You can also find us at swwtv.com. Find links to all of our great sponsors there in our past shows. We'll be back in just a minute with this week's Pictures of the Week and some more Southern Woods and Waters.